Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and Big G TV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically, because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Genesee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other. And most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSports.com, and Big G TV.
And welcome into MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by our friends at Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. We're glad you are along with us here on this Saturday morning, and there was no football last night, so we usually talk to Christian Peterson about the football game and then catch you up on all the other sports that are going on here this fall. But this morning we have the opportunity to talk some volleyball, and Nicole Burks joins us here, and we're going to find out everything about volleyball this morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing very, very well. You and I have a connection from way back when, I guess. You've been a coach's wife, and now you have a coach's husband, and it's just kind of runs.
Yes. I have been on both sides of that. Yes. When Brandon was at Riverdale, yes, I was a coach's wife, and Addison was a baby running around the gym and playing, and then now our roles have reversed a little bit. So now he's at the gym and I'm coaching. So yeah, we joke. We say I'm the real Coach Burks now, so, but it's great. It's been fun to be on both sides of it for sure.
Well, we'll just say you were the real Coach Burks all along and just go with it.
That's right. That's right.
No, Brandon was, gosh, I guess pretty young at the time he was at Riverdale, because I'm always so much older than everybody else is how it seems. But, had some really good teams there and got out of coaching and has been successful, with First Bank for many, many years now. And so he was on a few weeks ago with Andy Herzer talking about rhythm a little too. So Can I talk a bit about that venture too before we talk about MTCS?
Yeah, I think just, club volleyball is a big part of our lives. Our daughter has been playing club volleyball since she was 12, and now she's a senior. And just, wanted just an opportunity here in Murfreesboro for that platform. And Rhythm was born last year, so this will be the second season for that club. And I believe this year last year I believe we fielded 22 club teams, and this year I think we look to field about 25. So it has just grown. Volleyball is like the fastest growing sport right now for girls. And there's just a tremendous growth over there. We have a lot of great coaches and coaches from Rutherford County, but coaches from other counties that we all play each other and see each other throughout the season. And so it's really neat. It's a great community, but that's been a really great opportunity for our community for girls to have that opportunity here. So,
Well, John, who has been co-hosting here with me for
yes,
5 years or whatnot, his granddaughter plays at Eagleville on the middle school team. And so, very familiar. Yeah, Mia, very familiar with the club aspect of it all. And if you've ever been a part of softball, I mean, softball, it's travel ball, right? And
yep,
softball has many of those same attributes. You may go all over the Southeast.
we do. Brandon and I joked, but we probably are on an airplane every other weekend. Club season begins kind of early January, maybe mid-January. And our daughter, Addison, her team made it to nationals this year and competed. And so that finished about the first week of July. So it's a long season, but it is a lot of travel, especially if you're competing at, a national level for sure. And there's all different levels for sure.
Well, we'll talk about that because I think it's good for parents to know, and especially for those who may be listening in and thinking, volleyball may be a good fit. But how would that season go? Let's start in January with travel, or what did you call it? What term?
Club volleyball.
Club volleyball.
Yeah.
So club volleyball, and then how that goes into the school season in the fall, and how all that works.
For sure. So club volleyball typically starts around late November, practicing. And there's different levels of teams, anywhere from a regional local team that would only compete here very near in the state. And then you have, say 2 to 3 more tiers all the way up to the national level that would travel out of state more often than the local team. They compete in January. Most teams, not a national level team, will end the first weekend in May. They finish in Atlanta, Georgia. There's a regional event for all levels that finishes in Atlanta in May. So those seasons are kind of complete in May. So if your daughter wanted to do that locally, regionally, maybe on a twos team, it's kind of a January till May. Then if you were on a national level team or say a ones level team, those girls will continue to compete through the first week of July. And a little more travel involved with that. But there's there's classes and clinics, and you don't necessarily have to join a club team to play. There's all different, opportunities and levels depending on your, family commitment that you want to do. So. And
then with this being a fall sport, I'm sure you start somewhere around the same time as maybe football and July, maybe some things starting. I don't know. Tell me how that works.
Yes, that's true. So for those kids that did compete at a national level, their nationals ended in Dallas, Texas this year during dead period. We finished up in dead period and then had high school practice the next week. So we try to be very mindful of those kids that are competing at that level to have opportunity for rest and recovery before they go into the high school season. And we've got, multi-sport athletes and, other kids that play basketball and, cheer and different things that, we do. Summer is definitely a balance of allowing them opportunities to do a little bit of everything for sure.
We're talking today with Nicole Burks here on MTCS Cougar Corner, the volleyball coach. Whenever we talk to the high school coaches at MTCS, there's always this, emphasis on 5th and 6th grade and middle school. And it's almost like you've got your own development leagues, which is pretty unique for any school to have that. I'm sure most of the private schools do, but it's a pretty unique situation to be in as a coach, I would think.
It is. I think I could probably attest to that maybe a little bit myself. I started coaching the middle school program at MTCS when my daughter was in the 4th grade. And so now she is a senior. So I think for me personally, I have really seen the program just grow from middle school. And then now here I am with high school, and I've had the kids that I have right now that are seniors, I've had since the 6th grade. So that's been pretty special to see it kind of grow all these years and have that impact, I think, on both programs. But yes, we ran an elementary and middle school camp this year for those little kids. And I think to be a part of a community and a school that has the ability to see those kids kind of grow up and grow through your program is really neat. So it is a very special place.
Do you have, being the head coach of the high school team, but do you have kind of a hand in or talk with the other coaches at those levels? I mean, to kind of have a same mindset, a same, not necessarily coaching philosophy, but maybe standards that you'd like?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great question. And, Troy Berry was the head of this program for a long time. And, Troy was the high school coach. I was the middle school coach, and we worked, very closely together. And then I came on as Troy's assistant, and then now I'm the head coach. And so the middle school coach that was there last year is now my assistant. And then my high school assistant that was with me last year is now the middle school coach. So we're all very close, and we do work together and communicate. And I think there's a real culture that we want out of that program. And I think to be in the same building, you really can create that culture together because you are so close and you are working together. So yes, very much so.
It probably also helps to be able to see, a 6th or 7th grader that, in a couple of years,
No, for sure. I think the hardest part is we play at the same time, just like tonight, we had a match and they had a match, or even just gym availability, when we're on the road, they're at home, or vice versa. So sometimes, it makes it a little tougher to catch their matches, but it's a great program. Mary Catherine Smith runs our middle school program, and she was a Central graduate, local player here, and went off to play college at ETSU. And she also coaches club in our area as well. So yes, they're doing a great job in that middle school program for sure.
Well, we are recording this Cougar Corner today because the Wolfpack Classic, as this airs on Saturday morning, is going on, and you're participating in that. So what does a Saturday in a classic like this look like for the team?
Yes, actually, I think maybe that's a correction on that paper there, Brian, but we are actually playing in Gunnersville, Alabama on Saturday. It's a tournament called the Tournament of Champions, and it is a very elite event. Brentwood is in this tournament, Collierville, Nolensville, a lot of Alabama, Georgia teams that have competed for state championships, like ourselves. And so, it's probably a 3-match pool play situation, and then advance on to tournament play in your 4th match of the day. And so this will be a really great test for us to kind of go down there and see that elite competition that we want to be ready for in October. That's really the plan for the weekend.
So this, I guess, would be like basketball teams playing in a, after Thanksgiving or after Christmas, before the new year kind of tournament thing. That would be
Right. Like we hosted a Cougar Classic event at MTCS last weekend, and, had a team of 10 or, 10 teams at the event. There is a very significant amount of teams down here, very talented group of teams down here this weekend. So it's kind of a, how you do in pool play advances you to gold. If you come in second in your pool, you're in silver, and kind of so forth for the day. So anywhere from, minimum of 4 matches to a max of 6 matches. And on a tournament weekend like this, you're playing like best 2 out of 3, where in a regular season volleyball match, you're playing best 3 out of 5. So the matches are a little shorter in a classic tournament format like this weekend.
We have Nicole Burks joining us. We're talking MTCS volleyball and really kind of getting an education. I I wanted to spend some time doing this though, Nicole, because everybody's little girl, it seems like everyone wants to play volleyball now. I mean, why the huge, I don't know, maybe this is not even a fair question, but it seems like there's been an increase in interest in volleyball.
There really has been. I would agree with that. I think even just, the volleyball world just in general, I mean, you're seeing it on TV, you're seeing it on, ESPN during the week. You used to never see it that way. Nashville just hosted a huge block party this weekend at Bridgestone Arena. Vanderbilt hosted Belmont on Friday. Lipscomb had Nebraska. Just a lot going on even in our market this past weekend with volleyball. But I think it's a great sport for young girls. I really do. I mean, I'm 43 years old. I played at Eagleville, went there K through 12. And, Bill Tollett was my volleyball coach out there for all those years. And here I am at 43, still loving it, still coaching it. I say it a lot, but I think volleyball is really unique where you have 6 girls. Do you really think about it in a square, trying to keep this ball alive and communicate and work together. And I think it takes so much trust from the girl in front of you and behind you and beside you and just that communication and connection together that it just makes it a very unique sport. I think it's fast paced and it's exciting and it's kind of, like I said, you're trying to keep this ball alive, this whole play. And I think there's a lot of strategy to the game and lineups and matchups. And it's just a really great camaraderie sport. I feel like for young girls, it's just, I don't know, I'm passionate about it. I love it.
Well, I'm glad to see you survived coaching from Bill Tollett. So
we had a great run back then. My senior year, we finished state runner up my senior year. So we had a lot of great volleyball out there.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we have in this area, whether it be at Eagleville or at the 3A level with our larger high schools, or even right here with yourself and that school just across the way. I mean, the two of you have had some classic battles the last couple of years.
We have. And I think that's what's so neat too is, people see those rivalries for sure in those matches, but we're all very close. We, are at the, volleyball club together. We see each other on weekends. Deanna and I at Eagleville, played together. She was a senior when I was in the 8th grade. And yes, Macy at Blackman and, Mary Ruth at PCA, we all see each other outside of, our seasons in that volleyball community. So yes, we're all, a lot of great rivalry matches for sure, but all very close, like as a volleyball community.
Well, Nicole, let's talk about your team, how things have gone so far and kind of where we are in the season. And are we a third of the way through? Have we started some district play? Kind of update us on how that's going.
Yeah, we have. So we, at this early September. So right now we are 13-0. Very exciting. And we are 4-0 in the district. So we have had, 4 true district matches. This year, the district went to playing each other just once throughout the district. We gained 3 schools this year, which made our district a little bit larger. We used to play each other twice. Mandatory twice. Now it's just once. So they're off to a great start. We had a really fast start to our season. We played BGA and FRA on the road, won that in 5 sets. It was a tremendous match. Then we played PCA at home and beat them, turned right around and played Friendship Christian, which is a region rival for us that we saw last year in the region Final Four. So we had a pretty intense, I would say 10 match stretch there for a little bit. And the girls they were amazing and battled through it and, some tough matches in that little stretch and they've done great. So, and we had the Cougar Classic in the middle of all that too. So this week's been a little bit lighter, but we faced the top half of our district within the first week of our season.
So it's great to be 4-0 after doing that.
It is. Yes. They're doing great.
So are we about midway through the regular season? Are we just under, just over, kind of where are we?
Yeah, so the last match of the season is September 25th. We actually play a region rival there as well. We will finish with Good Pasture, who we saw in the state Final Four last year. So that's kind of your ending of the season, that kind of 25th there of September. And then the next week begins the district tournament, that 1st of October. Of course, the following week is region and then so forth. So the state, Final Four is about that 3rd week of October.
Well, you've said, this team that we faced in the region finals and this team that we faced in the Final Four last year. So my point about that is you came into this year with some very high expectations, or I think a lot of people have very high expectations for MTCS volleyball this year.
They do. This, this senior class competed for their first Final Four as freshmen. And that was I think a great year, kind of happy to be there. It was, school history. You kind of made it to the Final Four. Their sophomore season, we played 2 back-to-back 5-set matches in a row. Tough loss there that year. And then last year as well, they made it back to the Final Four again. Really 4 great teams last year as well. North Point Christian went on to win it last year. Our team would be the only team that did not graduate any players last year. So we have the entire returning group back this year as well. So yes, I think they have been a part of it the last 3 years. They know what it means. They've been there many times. And so, yes, I think they have a goal in mind for sure this year.
Well, talk about your kids, just whoever you'd like to mention here. It's always good to be able to get names on the air and mention anything you'd like to about them here.
Yeah. They are a special group. I guess you could probably tell, the way I feel about them. We have, like I said, 6 seniors, who I've had just the pleasure to be with since they were in the 6th grade. Anna Clay Shirley, I'll just start with my hitters. Anna Clay Shirley's an outside hitter, for us. She's been a captain, the last several years on our team. Just a tremendous competitor. Can't say enough really about her as a kid. Just always wants to win, always wants to compete. She's been a joy to coach, all these years. Jada Burns is our other outside hitter on that team. Same thing. They've been playing together since they were, middle school age. Jada plays club volleyball with my daughter as well. So we're, together quite a bit throughout the year. And she plays a big role for us as well. Her and Anna Clay both are our outside hitters for our team. And they do a tremendous job with our offense. Both of those girls, and just senior leadership. They've been there. They've been there. They know it. They know their roles so well. They do a great job. Addison Burks is our libero. Maybe you know what that means. She wears a different color jersey on the team. She's our kind of defensive captain. She kind of runs the entire backcourt, of our defense. Tonight, she actually got her 2000th career dig last week against Friendship Christian. And then Tuesday at Grace Christian Academy broke the school record for most digs on Tuesday. So we actually presented her tonight with a ball at the match tonight. So a pretty big accomplishment for her. But she's just a tremendous leader on our team and kind of runs that whole backcourt for us. And then Bailey Culpepper is our setter. And I would say the same for her in offense. Bailey kind of runs the offensive aspect of our team. Her and I do a lot of communicating throughout the match, and same thing. I've had Bailey, Anna Clay, Addison, Jada since 6th grade. We've been doing this whole offense together the whole time. And she's just a great, very steady, setter and kind of runs that offense so well. Just easy kid to coach. Addison Sane is another senior. She plays middle blocker for us, and just a great kid. She has just infectious personality. She's always cheering. She's always, when she's off, she's everybody's biggest fan, and so easy to coach and so smart and just does her job so well. And Maddie Box is my last senior of the 6, and she's a defensive specialist for us. She plays a little back row for Jada this season, and she serves so well. I think the other night, I can't even remember, maybe she served 10 or 15 points in a row. And we were on the road at FRA, and one kind of closed out the match for us serving. She just gets back there and does her job, and she's a very steady kid. And just, like I said, she kind of rounds out our senior class of those 6. And then I've got a sophomore, Maddie Dare Grubb, who also plays middle blocker for us and plays club volleyball as well. And she was a part of that Final Four last year as well. She started as a freshman, and she's a great middle blocker for us, just getting better every single year. I'm excited to see where she'll be, by the time she's a senior. She's doing a great job. And so yeah, that's kind of our starting group. Kinley Dalton and Elise White both play right side position for us to kind of round out this team. Kinley Dalton is a junior at MTCS, and Elise White's a sophomore. So kind of have the 6 senior group up there, and then we kind of have a little sophomore junior mixed in, and then I have a freshman that comes in and serves, Anna Clark Guerin, who's kind of makes the round out 11 of our team.
Very nice. Well, I know that the season has many ups and downs, but last question.
Yeah.
Being mom and coach, that's got to be, we always talk to coaches about that, but it's interesting. It's also fun. I mean, it's something that you can share for a lifetime. And, there are a lot of special things about it, I would think.
It is, I never take it for granted, for sure, to have this opportunity with her. And Addison and I have always had just a great relationship. And, I always said when, even when I took this over in middle school, when I'm out there and, it's coach and we're in that environment, that the minute that we get in the car and the match is over, it is over. It's like, hey, what do you want for dinner? Let's go get Chick-fil-A. It's never not talking about that in the car. And so I've always been super mindful of that, to have that distinction between the two. But I think there's something special too about, being a coach's kid, and, she loves to compete, and she, like I said, she's a great leader on our team. And we just have a really great balance and dynamic between us. That, like I said, I have really cherished it all these years. And like I said, she's very easy to coach, and it has made it easy. And like I said, I always make sure that it's mom the minute that it's over, and coach when I'm out there. So it's been really great.
Well, lots of volleyball going on this week. The schedule on the MTCS Athletics website has varsity with PCA this week. Would that be right?
On Monday.
Okay.
Yes.
And later on or is that the only for high school? I think that's all for high school. There's some middle school. There are 25 events from Monday through next Saturday. That's how many events just this week, whether it be volleyball, girls soccer, all kinds of things like that. Golf there at the PCA Invitational on Tuesday. Middle school volleyball plays Christiana as well when the varsity plays. You've got Franklin Christian Academy too, FCA.
We do, yeah. So that, I think I mentioned that earlier. The district went to playing each other just once. So us and BGA and PCA kind of all agreed to play each other twice to kind of fill in those gaps of the matches that we would need. So last week when we played PCA at our place, that was the match that counted for the district standings.
Okay.
So we did kind of wrap up that match last week, but this will, like I said, be the second kind of matchup for us, but wouldn't count towards district standings as far as that goes. But yeah, Franklin Christian, new to the district, them, St. Cecilia, and Zion were the three that kind of joined the district this year. So yes, we're on the road there on Tuesday. We're so thankful for Beth Basham and Jason Piercy. They kind of keep us all straight with that calendar. They have a lot going on.
Especially with this many events. And next Friday, of course, football back in action versus Grace Baptist out of Chattanooga. But
Yeah.
Nicole, it's been fun catching up with you this morning. I'm glad we had this opportunity, and we'll have to make sure we spend more time talking in the future. Maybe we'll even get to do a wrap up of the season.
We would love that. Yes, anytime. Thank you so much for having me, for sure.
Very good. Thanks for being here. Our guest on Cougar Corner today, MTCS volleyball coach Nicole Burks. That's going to do it for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. For my co-host this morning, John Dinkins and Danny Brewer, our producer has been Dalton Barrett. I'm Brian Barrett. Have a wonderful Saturday. Don't forget Middle Tennessee football at Wisconsin, 1:30 airtime today with a 3 o'clock kickoff right here on WGNS. Have a great day, great weekend, everybody.
From the list real quick. I'm just saying, and I think about that sometimes.